Well, it's Tech for Hire. I believe he's going to bore us again with his bullshit.
Hey YouTube, Tech for Hire here. Forgot to turn on my camera, so finally decided to turn it on because that would be smart. Otherwise, I'd be talking to myself. Anyways, it's Friday, so I got a nice weekend coming up. I need it. Why do I need it? Because I got written up at work today. Oh God, it sucks. I got a note in my permanent record. Ah, it's so shitty. I'll tell you what happened. So yesterday, we'll say coworker A was explaining something to coworker B. Coworker B decided to cop an attitude, and they normally do this when they either A, don't want to hear what you have to say, or B, don't want to be bothered and want you to actually do the work for them. So coworker B was doing this thing where they go, yep, yeah, yep, kind of like that while somebody's talking. And it's not an acknowledgement of, oh yes, I'm listening to everything you're saying. Okay, yeah. No, it was, yeah, yeah, like, get the hell out of my office kind of a thing. So, anyways, I got annoyed because this person, what did I say, employee B, does this all the time to everybody, and it's really annoying. So, I messaged another employee, we'll call this employee C, and said to employee C, hey, don't you hate it when this person does this dismissive thing where they say, yeah, yep, and you just want to smack them upside the head? Well, unbeknownst to me, in my excitement to text my frustration about employee B, I messaged employee B. So employee B comes up to my office and was like, was that message meant for me? And you could tell this person, this employee B, was pissed. Red face, little tear in the eye, anger. And I was like, yeah, of course. Sure. Because I had no idea what employee B was talking about. And then as soon as employee B left my office, I went and looked at my messenger and was like, ah, shit. I can't believe I did that. What a dumb ass mistake. So I messaged employee B and said, look, I'm sorry. That was unprofessional and I apologize. I shouldn't have sent that out. So employee B comes back to my office and says, okay, so were you sorry that you sent it, or were you sorry that you got caught? And quite honestly, I was like, well, both, actually. So I thought that was the end of it. I avoided employee B all day and was like, well, this will blow over. Crap like this happens all the time. We all bag on each other. We give each other shit. So no big deal, right? Wrong. I got a message today that employee B wanted to file a formal complaint against me. So I had to go into the office, and I was told that I am lucky that they were able to convince the Human Resources Department that that I did not actually physically threaten employee B with physical harm, and convinced the HR management not to press more serious penalties against me for that. So in a way, I guess I'm thankful for that, but also I'm like, this is bullshit, because obviously I didn't mean physical harm against employee B. But they kind of got me on two levels, because apparently you're not supposed to use company equipment or electronic services to badmouth or discredit another employee. So they got me on that one. And then the other one was you're not supposed to use electronic components for non-work related stuff. So apparently bagging on a coworker is not work related. So I didn't argue that point, but I think it's kind of hypocritical. But anyways, I guess it was for company business. So, but one could argue that after employee B received my message, they did go back to employee A and continued the conversation in a more open method, where excuse me, where they actually listened to the person and had a back and forth conversation like normal employees should, instead of being so dismissive. So, if anything, it probably helped out employee B in being a better employee, if you will. So, anyways, I got written up, and I'm kind of pissed about it, but luckily, I talked to my supervisor, and he's, because I'm up for a step increase to max out how much I finally make at my job. And that means, that's my 5 years that I've been at the company. So, I should get that come up in February. So I was really worried that this was going to screw me over on money. And all for something that's just bullshit. Because the issue with me is, what they said was, you shouldn't badmouth other employees. Okay, that makes sense. But it's not like HR walked by and heard something that I said and was like, oh my gosh, you guys aren't supposed to do that. Our whole department, we're IT. It's like a locker room. We all talk shit about everybody. And one of the worst offenders is the employee that ratted me out. So it's like, you freaking hypocrite. So I'm just kind of pissed about that situation. And so I brought it to my boss. I was like, hey man, so I don't want to be vindictive, but from what you're saying is this comment that I made to employee B was, threat of physical violence. Employee B tells customers in a joking fashion, the same way that I did, that the employee B is going to punch him in the face. So, should I not report that the next time that I hear it? And he's like, well, yeah, if you feel threatened. And my argument is, employee B did not feel threatened by me at all, because they know that I'm not going to physically attack anyone. Now I know the Human Resources Department doesn't know that, so that's why they had to act in the fashion that they did. But I told my boss straight out, I said, hey, employee B is going to start this petty bullshit and report me. I'm going to report employee B, because I'm no hypocrite. If I can't do it, your ass better not be able to do it. So, and I also brought up, I was kind of told that my language was too strong. And I'm like, okay, well, employee B cusses like a freaking sailor all the time. So, how are you going to chastise me on language when this person is the worst offender out of our entire department and probably out of the entire city? So, yeah, I was just like, I was annoyed. I'm still annoyed. I'm kind of ticked off about it. But the one thing that kind of pissed me off is, like, I did apologize for sending it, but, and at that time, I was sincere. Like, I felt really, really bad about it. especially because, I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. I just like to express myself, in a quiet manner. I didn't want to go up to employee B and be like, hey, you're annoying and you're dismissive and it's rude, so stop doing that. Because that would start a whole confrontation. And I don't want to start a confrontation. And I certainly don't want employee B to, feel bad or whatnot. So, I just get annoyed about something. I will, have a conversation, vent really quick to somebody else, and then it's done. It's over with. Case closed. Move on. Well, they made this a bigger issue than it really needs to be. So I'm just jacked about that whole thing. So they could have came to me, when employee B came up to me and said, did you mean to do that? And I, are you sorry because you sent it, or are you sorry because you did it? Or that I saw it. And if employee B would have said, that was a really dick thing to do, and fucked up, I would have felt even worse, absolutely worse about it, and I would have apologized even more. But instead, employee B just walked away. And then now that they wrote me up and it's on my permanent record, it's not a requirement on my reprimand, but they said, if you want to be sincere and apologize face to face, we would recommend that you do that. Well, I would have done that if they would have just had me come upstairs and say, hey, what you did was inappropriate, that wasn't nice, don't do that, or next time we're going to write you up, or something along that lines. But now that I have something on my permanent record, why the hell am I going to apologize? It's like, no, I did something wrong. Okay, granted, you got me. I did something wrong. You slapped my hand. It's it. It's done. We're over. But now they want me to go grovel? I'm not groveling for shit. Employee B can kiss my ass. We don't do that to each other. Men, women, whatever, when you work in a department, you guys work in a department. It's whether it be a dysfunctional family or what, it's a family. So, you don't rat each other out. There's been shit that employee B has done that I certainly could have complained to a lot of people about, but I don't, because it's a bitch-ass thing to do. So, you're affecting somebody's job, and you're affecting somebody's money. And, it was one time where I didn't personally rat this person out, but, there was a guy that, another employee at my company who wanted to get into a physical altercation with me. So I called him out. I said, let's go outside, bitch. Bring it. And needless to say, he didn't want to go outside, but it was going to turn physical. And it was all because I asked this person to he was pissed off that he had to do his job. Surprise. And he got mad about it. And he got mad at another employee that didn't start yet. But he wanted that employee to do his job. And I was like, dude, just calm down. He's like, don't effing tell me to calm down. You're not part of this. And I'm like, well, I'm standing right here, and you're loud as shit. I can't help but overhear everything that you're saying. He's all, well, just mind your own fucking business. And he's all, if you want a problem, I'll give you a problem. At that point, I said, all right, then, let's go outside. And I dropped my keys. I walked outside, and he didn't follow me. But I don't know who complained, but somebody complained and reported him. And I had to give my statement, and because there was a threat of violence. And I told him, I said I wasn't threatened, but apparently, somehow in the statement they said, well, there was a fear of violence. And I was like, well, when I think violence, I think somebody's gonna stab somebody. So fist fight, I don't give a shit. It's like, no, I wasn't afraid of this guy. It's just, we were going to take it to the next level. That's what we were going to do. And, but in any case, they kind of brought that up. But, I don't know. We got a dysfunctional family. You just deal with shit sometimes, And the fact that the fact that employee B didn't bring anything up just kind of pisses me off. It's like, man, you're going to bring all this stuff up, and now it's on my permanent record, and I could get in trouble for it. And, you know, now it's like, okay, I have that mark on my record, so if I ever do anything again, they're going to be like, oh, well, we have a history here. Look at this. And I'm like, you know what? I have a history of shit. Sorry for coughing in your ear. I've been talking. So, anyways, you know, that was my day. I spent like an hour and a half talking to my supervisor about it. And, you know, employee B was walking around with her head held high, staring at me like, ha, 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 I got you. I was like, all right, that's cool. But I don't think you're going to be sitting, waiting for me to grovel anytime soon and apologize. You got me in trouble, you got me written up, that's all you get. You don't get nothing else from me. I ain't apologizing for shit. And I know the HR department probably wouldn't appreciate that, but, you know, I'm sorry. But I gave that employee B, an honest, sincere apology, and they don't accept it, well, tough shit. That's all you get. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for today. I will probably take a ride later on today and or tomorrow and film that as well. Go for the ride. Take care.
I hope you liked my video. If you want to see more, feel free to click down below. Don't forget to subscribe, or you can hit me at Twitter at Tech4Hire Online.